Hello everyone, I'm going to show you how to understand better the scores that we have and how you can use them to understand better individuals or teams and find out improvement. I'm going to use this example using the Better Together framework that measures the 5 dimensions, but there are other radars that we use to understand deeper the teams. So if you want to measure something in particular, let us know. Here we can see like the balance and the overall score. This is a report for teams, which is going to be also converted for the report for the whole company or about individuals. So let's start there. These are the members of our teams, and we can see the scores of their different radars. We can see what is the lowest score that we have. It's divided by each individual and by each radar. Choose the team. In here we can see a summary of the last responses versus the previous week responses. For example, we are missing the blue bar. This means that we didn't get any response from this person. That also gives us some insights that we need to take care of, but we can understand what is happening with each person each week to understand better. Now, this is a very important part. In other videos, we've been talking about tagging all the measurements that we take. Whenever we're going to measure burnout, for example, why are we measuring it, what has happened in the days before, and all of that. That will help us to understand the data historically, right, in the past, and also predict things in the future. In here, for example, we can see how the scores change, right, and each one of them represents something. For example, in the week 1, we made the first measurement, right? And this was our score. We started improving, and for example, in week 4 something happened. But what? Our refactor aligned with many client requests. Apparently, the client asked for too many things, and then that confused the team. This is a quick summary, but I want to show you that each radar contains sub-radars. There are also videos explaining that deeper. It contains multiple factors that will help us to understand exactly what we need to improve. I want to show you how the data is helpful for the whole company, right? In this slide, we can see that we can understand each person and how each member feels. Even if we are the same team, we can take care of the other teammate, tell them, hey, what's going on? How can I help, right? At the end, the team is something that we build all together. And now that we have the individual scores, we can group them by teams. For example, the engineering team or the manager's team, and at the end, when you collect the information of all the teams, you can have the information for the whole company. That is very useful because you're going to have different actions to take. Either is it for the company in general, for different teams in particular, or for each individual in particular. Also, this is very helpful because it's going to help you to understand what works for some teams and what works for other teams. These are the team benchmarks. These reports, you can also request them and you can have them available, or maybe do some experiments, right? Try to make something work in that team, and if that works, maybe replicate them to the others. And if that didn't work and it was worse and something like that, then just don't do it in any team, right? This is how the data is collected from individual to teams to companies. And now, last but not least, the scores, right? How we understand those. For example, in mine safety, we can see that we have an 88. This means that apparently the psychological safety of this particular team is great. They have good communication, they are understanding well between them, and they are collaborating fine. We have definitions and explanations for each part of the radars in other videos and also in our page, so make sure to check that out so you can use this tool in your favor as much as possible. I'm going to set another example just quickly. For example, we have in smart work a 75%. That means that probably there is something that we could use to improve the way we work. Is it communication? Is it processes? Is it automation? Just play around with it. Get your scores and find out what to improve and get actions out of them. To understand why we have that particular score, we assign a value to each of the pulses, each of the questions that we send to each individual. For example, if we have 3 possible answers, each one of those have a different score. The scores are going to help us understand where we should put more focus on. At the end, we need to make these evaluations numeric because we cannot improve something that we cannot measure. You can send any questions that you want. So this is the explanation for now. I hope this is useful. See ya.